Hi everyone and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before, and welcome to part 2 of my Q&A video. Yeah, it kind of got out of hand when it comes to how much I blabbered on. You had some really great questions and I wanted to address the questions properly, so I decided to split my Q&A up into 2 parts. Definitely check out part 2, which I'll be leaving in the corner up here, as well as in the description box below. That covers the YouTube questions. We still haven't gone through the anonymous questions, so chances are those will be extra juicy, and the Instagram questions. So, oh, okay, and one random thing. I have like a blind box to unbox, very random, but yeah, this is the Shaka Candle Whisper by Popmart. Wait for like a blind box unboxing in between. Those aren't like bag charms, like they are plastic figurines essentially, but so pretty. I love that IP from Popmart. Anyway, let's get into the anonymous questions. So, okay, question number 1. Who do you film your shopping vlogs with? Sometimes there's footage of a third party filming you and then like a frowning emoji. Okay, eagle eyes. Most of the time actually I film them by myself, so in that case, there won't be any like third-party footage essentially. But in some of my shopping vlogs, for instance, I think the last one I can recall that had like third-party view kind of footage was my Remond designer premium outlet shopping vlog. Check that out. Honestly, the amount of people that watched that video makes me so happy. So if you want to be one of them, check the video out. It's gonna be linked here and in the description box. Remond is a premium outlet in the Netherlands. And I did go with my mom. So if you see third-party view kind of footage in my shopping vlogs, 9 times out of 10, actually 9.5 times out of 10, it's my mom. She isn't into luxury at all, but she's super supportive. Next question. Say you get a 10k euro windfall, what will you spend it on? 10k, let's see. Okay, super boring. But I'd say 7k goes to investments, or like, yeah, and by that I mean like not investing into handbags, I mean like low-cost index funds, which, yeah, it's boring, but I appreciate that. Yes, it's fun spending money on bags and like material stuff, but it's always nice to plan for the future. So yeah, 7k goes into investments, not touching that for another 30 to 40 years. 30 years. And the rest of the 3k maybe put into savings, half of it for like saving for an upcoming trip, which at that point in time maybe I haven't even like decided on which trip I want to go on, but like it's always nice to have like a little cushion, or like build up a vacation fund, if that makes sense. And the other half will go into like a handbag fund. Not like impulsively purchase a handbag like off the cuff just because suddenly I have like a little bit of extra money, but like put it to the side and wait for the right bag to come around, if that makes sense. So yeah. Next question. Would you want to travel to China again? If you're not aware, I did go to China last year in October, November for almost 3 weeks, and honestly, that trip, I can't put into words how amazing it was. One of the questions in the first half of my Q&A was basically asking about my most memorable, like most enjoyable trip that I've taken so far, and I'd say, okay, maybe I'm biased because there was somewhat of a recent trip, but my China trip, honestly, like we started in Beijing, did Xi'an, a Yangtze River cruise, did a little bit of South China, and ended in Shanghai. I loved every second of it. Because we did this like round trip, it was a perfect mix of like city, a little bit of luxury shopping even. I discovered Duanmu, which is like, okay, I knew of the brand going into like my China trip, and I was like, I have to go to one of their boutiques, and actually I think I checked out 2 of them. They're a Chinese-based luxury brand. They were started in Beijing like 10-ish years ago, so a fairly new brand, but their bags are just like works of art, so different. And looking back, I wish I would have purchased one of them, but they're quite pricey. Anyway, so a little bit of luxury shopping and stuff. I also went to a Dior art exhibition, like the Lady Dior art, Lady Dior, you get what I'm saying, in Shanghai, which happened to be like, yeah, going on like a super short exhibition, like super short span of time, and I was lucky enough to just happen to be in Shanghai during that exhibition. So a mix of like city stuff and like shopping stuff, but also nature. Okay, next question. Unusual stuff you don't spend money on. Expenses a lot of people have, but you don't. Oh, okay. Let's see. I don't have a car, by choice. I mean, I do have a driver's license, but I just like don't see the need to buy a car because our public transport is really good. I feel like cars are such a massive money drain. The upkeep, the purchase price, if you don't pay it in full, which that's something I I touched on in the first like Q&A, like in the first part of my Q&A. If you don't pay in full, you have like monthly payments and the interest is usually not that great. If you pay in full, still like it devalues basically as soon as you drive off the like car lot. So yeah, it's a lot. And I just don't see the value in that. So yeah, but obviously if you live in the US, for instance, there are hardly any cities that you can like, or hardly any areas that you're even able to survive basically or get to work and stuff without a car. So I appreciate sometimes it's not an option to not have a car, but I really appreciate me being in a position to have the option to decide to not want a car and be perfectly fine living my life without one. So that's probably an expense that a lot of people have, but I don't. Also, okay, I think a lot of people spend a lot of money on eating out. My level of eating out is takeaway coffee every so often. Not like going to the office and grabbing coffee on the way because we do have a fancy coffee machine at work. I don't see a point of buying expensive coffee. But like every now and then, maybe a handful of times per month, I get like coffee. But I don't get a lot of enjoyment out of eating out. So I think over the stretch of a year, maybe I'm eating out like 10 times max because I just like, it doesn't bring me joy in any way. I see the expense and also, yeah, I'm celiac, so that probably also plays into it. It's always like, what can I eat? What are the restrictions? Is it just like another salad without dressing because the restaurant doesn't know what they put in their stuff? So that probably also plays into it. And I don't DoorDash and Uber Eats either. So I think that's a massive expense that people also very much underestimate how much money they actually spend on eating out and like DoorDashing and stuff. Yeah, those are just like two of the main things that come to my mind. All right, so those were the anonymous questions. Going into the Instagram questions, where I do know where the questions came from. Actually, like the anonymous questions weren't too deep or like too juicy. Sorry about that, but I mean it was in your hands. You had all the option to ask like juicy questions. All right, first question by The Closet by Connor. Hi Connor. I'll be leaving everyone that I do know that they have like an Instagram, YouTube and stuff in the description box below. So Connor wants to know, if you could live anywhere in Europe, where would it be? I mean, obviously London, still in Europe, just not part of the EU anymore. So yeah, I really enjoyed living in London. I wouldn't mind going back, but also London is such an expensive city. Paris would be great, but my French isn't at a point where I'd feel comfortable moving to a French-speaking city. Same applies to, I adore the south of France, but also job opportunities in the south of France. Very few and far in between. Yeah, it's kind of interesting actually, because everything in terms of like business and corporate world is very much, like when it comes to France, is very much structured and like focused on Paris, like Paris and nothing else basically. Whereas in Germany, for instance, we have a couple of like bigger cities that are their own kind of hubs. But yeah, basically when it comes to business, everything happens in Paris, I feel like. But like language barrier, I did take French in school, but that's like more than a decade ago at this point. It's also like, I've been meaning to maybe get back into trying to like, yeah, reestablish my French. But it's like a matter of, yeah, ROI. So how much time would I have to spend and like put into me getting better and like getting to a point with my French where I feel comfortable, like, and in a position able to hold a conversation, whereas yeah, how much will it help me essentially? And I appreciate not everything that you do, like not every hobby has to be like productive, but at the same time it's like, yeah, a time question. So I honestly don't know. London. I'd love to return to London. Next couple of questions are by Pre-Lovers Studio. I did go to Pre-Lovers, which they're like a consignment, not so much a consignment. I think they purchased the bags that they resale full out. Mostly, like they started with Louis Vuitton and now their focus is more on higher ticket items, mostly like vintage Kellys, which A vintage Kelly, probably, like preferably from my birth year at some point in time would be amazing. But yeah, they like are a pre-loved shop, essentially, pre-lovers, so they'll be linked below. They don't. I think they're still working on their website. If they have a website, it's going to be linked here, but most of their stuff goes either like via like a local, something like Vinted essentially, or you can like contact them on Instagram. So their Instagram will be also linked in the description. Anyway, long story short, they asked a couple of questions. Okay, let's start with the easy ones. How tall are you? I'm 177-ish centimeters, so 5'10" roundabout. So I guess on the taller side, but not overly tall. That being said, I do enjoy wearing heels. I actually feel more comfortable in heels than with like sneakers or flats. So there's that. But yeah, that's my height. Where do you see, oh, I said starting with the easy ones, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I have no idea. I don't even know where I'm seeing myself in 1 year. Hopefully that's a question I will never be asked in a job interview, because how do you answer those kind of questions? I don't know. Next question, your 3 favorite handbags. Okay, in the first part, someone of you forced me to say my one single favorite bag, which was, yeah, impossible. But obviously, the bag that I did choose at the end was this one. So this is gonna have to feature in my top 3 as well. My Chanel medallion tote, which I adored, loved pieces. Yeah, it's just such a perfect bag. Let's see. From pure like amount of wear I get from it. Oh, say hi to my to Labubu. Is this one right here. Also, I did purchase it at an outlet like the Mall Firenze, which is close to Florence in Italy, at an amazing deal. So yeah, it's a grey Saint Laurent Sac de Jour, and I purchased it at an outlet, which makes it all the more special. Also, it like reminds me of my trip to Italy with my mom, actually. So yeah, I love traveling with my mom. I love like going into shops with my mom. Again, she isn't into luxury at all, but she's super supportive and she sees that I'm interested in it. And if I'm happy, she's happy, which I love you, mom. So yeah, I guess this should be featuring in my top 3 as well. And let's see. Tricky. Maybe, but I might be biased because this is somewhat of a new, like a very new acquisition for me. It's definitely not new, but new to me. It's my Chanel vintage, very much vintage, medium classic flap that I purchased earlier this year. Honestly, I didn't anticipate to be wearing or like carrying her as much as I did, or I do, but that makes it all the more special. So yeah, love my vintage Chanel classic flap. Obviously, if you've been watching my channel for a while, which if you're not subscribed, maybe it's time, like just click the subscribe button. Is it here or there? Doesn't cost you anything, but it would mean so much to me. So yeah, consider subscribing and joining my little YouTube family. But yeah, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I have, and it's definitely still part of my collection, my Chanel Jumbo Classic Flap, which I purchased new from the boutique in caviar leather. That's lambskin. Yeah, I mean, you could include it in this list as well, but like from a pure amount of wear kind of perspective, also I'm way less precious about this one because it also like already has its beauty mark from the previous owner. I guess I'm gonna go for that one. I think there's one more. All right, okay. He asked about my dream job if money was no object. So that opens up all the floodgates. I don't know, like back in the day before I went to uni, I was like, if my studies don't work out, I'm just gonna open like a bakery or like a coffee shop. I know, I mean, looking from the outside, running a bakery or like a coffee shop looks like such a chill life and it looks amazing and like, yeah, all the aesthetic, like interior, and I think people definitely romanticize the idea of running a coffee shop. So I appreciate it's not easy, but yeah, it's very different from what I'm currently doing work-wise. So I don't know, if money was no object and if it was perfectly fine of running like a deficit year after year, which is certainly very easy to fall into, I guess, when you're running like a coffee shop or something. I might do that. All right, next question by Liz Carlson. Favorite city to visit, your top recommendations for activities and food. Okay, let's talk about the food part. I'm not a foodie. So when I travel, eating out and like going to fancy restaurants and stuff isn't necessarily my priority. So food is never really something that I'm like consciously trying to like search out like special places and stuff. Also, again, because I'm celiac and makes stuff a little more tricky. If I like happen to go to a city, I might research if they have like specific gluten-free cafes or gluten-free bakeries just to try out some new stuff. But yeah, food is never really like a priority when I'm traveling, if that makes sense. Especially not in China, because yeah, China as a celiac was a struggle, let me tell you. We did have a couple of like planned meals. I did travel with like a travel group, and most of the time it was like buffet kind of style, like shared meal. Most of the time I had plain rice. Not the most fun experience, but yeah. Anyway, favorite city to visit? I don't know. Like honestly, London is amazing, and Paris is always a good idea. New York City though, there's something that London wasn't able to give me in terms of like feeling that New York always manages to bring out of me. Like also when I look back on my most recent New York trip photos, which yeah, that's like 3 years ago at this point, I have this like glow about me and this like, yeah, I don't know, something about New York just like never leaves you once you've been there once. And it's been a couple of years now, so maybe I'll have to schedule to go back, but all in due time. Anyway, next question. Oh, I'm running really low on battery, so let's speed through the remaining couple of questions. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Yeah, I don't even know where I see myself in 5 years, or let alone 10, I don't know. What do you enjoy about your looks the most? Maybe my hair. Honestly, like, it's such a weird topic because, like, okay, I've never been diagnosed, but I feel like I have some form of like body dysmorphia because objectively, I guess I'm on the skinny side, but I don't see myself as such. So I think I have pretty long legs and they are lean looking at least. I don't have like massive muscles, but I do Peloton and stuff. So I think my legs are fine, but I can't appreciate if my legs were in somebody else, realistically I'd be like, wow, her legs are amazing, but I can't say that about myself, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna go for my hair. Okay, would you wear Birkenstocks? I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I've never felt the desire to purchase or wear them. It's more like a gardening kind of shoe for me. So I don't know, my parents, for instance, they have like a little shed where they store like lawnmower and stuff. If they go from the house to the shed, they wear Birkenstocks. That's kind of like my association with Birkenstocks. What are your aspirations for your social media work and YouTube content? Yeah, I would love to grow my channel. I don't foresee this ever turning into even remotely close to like a full-time thing. I think for that I just like started way too late. So essentially my goal is to keep on being as true to myself as possible. I hardly take any collaborations or sponsorships, which also plays into the fact that YouTube hardly pays me anything, but I'm very selective. Not saying that I'm opposed to any kind of sponsorships, but it has to like vibe with my kind of like priorities and interests, if that makes sense. But yeah, just like grow my channel and take you along on everything that I'm experiencing and stuff. Oh, I'm running on 1% battery. Okay, so last question by Luxury and Life in the Middle. So hi Lisa, she'll be linked below. Yeah, I had the pleasure of meeting her not last year, but the year prior while I was in London because the handbag tribe came to London and we met up and stuff. So how do you take such great pics of yourself when traveling solo? Your vlogs are always like the 100% kind of like emoji. Thank you. That is so sweet. So I actually, when it comes to taking pictures of myself, I'm really not that great, especially not when traveling. So I think my New York trip, like the DC and New York trip, that was the like peak of me like actually taking pictures of myself. I had like a small tripod with me and I took a couple of pictures, but generally I'm not that great at taking pictures of myself when I'm traveling. All right, I'm back. I had to take a quick break because I was a little too optimistic in terms of me being able to like speed through the remaining questions. So I think I somewhat like hastily covered Lisa's question. Sorry about that. But yeah, essentially, I actually don't take that many pictures of myself during my solo trips. Sometimes it's always a little tricky because you really have to gauge who you're gonna like hand your phone over and not risk them like dashing off with your phone essentially. But I think I have a good idea of who looks trustworthy enough to like ask them if they can take a picture of me. And my preference is either moms with strollers because they just like can't leave their kid there and like dash off with your phone, or because you never know what the like photo quality will be like when maybe people have no interest in social media and like taking pictures and stuff. But what I found is usually, I mean, it's sometimes I guess I'm the annoying person that like interrupts someone's like photo session, but just like stood there and watching like girlfriend and boyfriend or like wife and husband, and the husband is doing his duty as the Instagram husband and taking pictures. And generally I'm asking the girl once they're done, because she realistically has a good eye for like good photos, but I hardly ever do that because I don't want to like annoy people and take time out of their vacation. But yeah, sometimes I muster up the courage and ask people to take pictures of me, but most of the time, either very rarely, it's with a tripod or just like selfies, which works out fine as well. One more question is another German one, so I'm just going to paraphrase it. Are you going to Paris with the handbag tribe? I am. I think I mentioned that already, but yeah, I'm so excited to meet up with them again because I wasn't able to make New York happen last year because I did go, like during that time I did go to the south of France with my parents. But yeah, really excited to catch up, especially considering when we met up in London, I had like a weird ankle situation going on. I wasn't able to walk for almost a month. So I wasn't able to spend the entire weekend with the handbag tribe, just like one afternoon when we had the Fendi event in Selfridges, which was so nice. But yeah, didn't manage to catch up with them in New York, but this time around in Paris, I'm so looking forward to it. Dale won't be there, unfortunately, but Meredith will, Gwenny, Lisa, Luxury and Life in the Middle, Amelia from Amelia Rose's Closet, did I mention Gwenny already? Deb from Wild Unfiltered, Victoria from Accounting for Luxury, which I think she was part of the New York City get-together, but not of the London get-together, so we haven't met yet. Hannah will be there, So Much Design with Hannah. Nick from Living Life Loud with NJS will be there. Handbag colleagues, so Steph will be there. Hopefully I didn't forget anyone because that would make me feel so bad, but I think that's it. We do have a WhatsApp chat, so let me make sure I didn't forget anyone. Myself, Victoria, Claire. Did I mention Claire? Claire from Claire Louise Luxe. Deb, Gwenny, Hannah, Meredith, Nick, Amelia, Lisa. So excited. Honestly, I'm so looking forward to everything and yeah, what we're getting up to. We do have some like loose plans, but it's another couple of months. We'll be there sometime in August and I'm so excited. So yeah, those are all the questions covered. I did mention we're gonna do like an unboxing if anyone even cares, and if you're still around, I appreciate that so much. Let's do a blind box unboxing. I'm actually kind of surprised that I didn't get any questions when it comes to Labubus and stuff because, yeah, I've been on record last year, I've been on record on YouTube saying that I won't be wearing my Labubus on my bags. I think I've changed my mind on that a little bit, but yeah, if you want to share your thoughts and opinions on Labubus, be honest. I honestly, yeah, if you think they're ridiculous, let me know that as well. I won't be offended, I promise. But yeah, I'm really surprised that I didn't get any Labubu questions. So here they come in these like lined bags. Ooh. Ooh. It's like semi-transparent, hopefully it focuses. Okay, I think there should be a stand. What are you called? You look amazing. Sink. Yeah, makes sense. She's yeah, jumping into the water, essentially. I don't know why that took me so long to put into words. Yeah, it's not a secret. It's a 1 out of 12 chance focus, hopefully. Yeah, so this is from the Shaka series. I think this is the second series that Shaka came out with. They did have like a candle focus kind of series as well. I do own 2 figurines from the candle series as well. Yeah, I know it's a little ridiculous. Those kind of like trinkets. But okay, how do I think you have to like plop them together in some way. while I'm doing that, maybe head to the bottom of this video and let me know your thoughts, and also subscribe, because yeah, as I said, either on this video or on the first part, I do have some very exciting trips coming up, and I'm going to take you along for those. And obviously on my channel, I talk about all things luxury. Travel is definitely a luxury. I fully appreciate that. But also handbags, obviously, unboxings, reviews. Let me know if you want me to film like a review on any specific bag that you're seeing in the background right now. Yeah, I'd love to do that. I always say I film reviews, but at the end of the day, I never really know if you're even interested. So if you want me to film a review on a specific bag, let me know. I think that's it. Does she? Yeah. Oh, look at her. She's like jumping into the water. Adorable. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing. Also check out part 1 of my Q&A. I didn't anticipate to be talking for that amount of time. I definitely feel it in my throat. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. And if you made it all the way until the end, leave a blue heart emoji in the comments so I know you made it. And before I keep you any longer, have an amazing rest of your day, and I'm gonna catch you in one of my next videos. Bye.